Hi, everybody. My hair looks crazy. I just realized it right before I hit the button, and I was like, oh, here goes nothing. That's pretty much my way of life. Like, here goes nothing. We went to the beach last night. We did some daydreaming at the beach. It was beautiful. It was cold, though. Oh. When you go on, say hello. Let me know you're here. We're going to do some makeup. I also have an appointment today. I really want to focus on, okay, here's the deal. I've ordered cute clothes. I am so absolutely frozen that I can't bring myself to put them on. It's freezing in this house. I've got to start remembering to turn the air up, to like the 70s so that I can put them on, because I have some cute clothes to show you guys. Like, I got the cutest dress from Walmart, and well, it's too big. And then there was another dress I ordered that was too big. It's like either it's too big or I'm freezing cold. Like, I have on socks right now. Oh, I gotta get my blanket. Hold on. Ooh, I almost fell. Y'all, I almost fell last night. I was getting out the bed. To go lock and shut the bedroom door. I was like headed to the bathroom in a roundabout sort of way. Anyways, I jumped off the bed, stepped on the bed skirt. It hit that slick floor, and then my feet are really soft. I don't want to brag, but my feet are really soft right now. I've been using this cream on them. And I was like the kind of fall where you don't fall all the way, but you might as well just fall in the whole way because you pull a muscle on the way down, you know? So anyways, yeah. And I was like, oh! None of my family came to see if I was okay. It's all right. So anyways, good morning, patience. What do you guys want to talk about today? The new episode of Pitt came out yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to catch up yet. It comes out at 9 o'clock on Thursday nights, and that's like rush hour around here. So I didn't get a chance to catch up yet. I'm going to do that today. And we have a big weekend planned. I'll tell you all about that. But I don't really know that I have anything else to... We could talk about the guy from Weezer. Did y'all hear about that? Check out my high. All right. When everyone's here, we'll commence, okay? Look, if I'm going to be on time, I need you guys to be on time. I'm just kidding. I'm early today. Anyways, I dried my hair yesterday. You know what I have stuck in my head? First off, and the click you claim. West Side. Claim to be a player, but I don't know why that's stuck in my head. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Kimberly. Okay, so what was I going to tell you guys? We went, well, I don't even know where to start. I'm all thrown off, and all I can hear in my head is West Side. Me too. I'm here and I got a nice message. Yay! Libby, I'm so excited. I love it when it comes through. I love it. That makes me appreciate. Good morning, Amanda. I just love your blonde hair so much. Spending time with my traveling granddaughter. You've always got somebody coming or going. It's like the sisterhood of the traveling pants around there, Miss Sandy. You've got them coming. You've got them going. I've missed chatting with you. I hope everything's going well. Okay, so... tonight, Abram has a basketball tournament. I can't wait to see what 21-year-old full-grown men will be playing tonight. I'm pumped up. Poor little guy thinks he has a good chance because tonight's tournament is being held at the court where they practice. So he thinks they have a home field advantage. Like, I love my child, but I'm also very realistic. And the people they have been playing, I'm just going to blame the chicken. I don't know what else to blame. I'm just going to blame the hormones in the chicken. Pink Bonnie. I hate that song. I hate that song. I start out liking it. It notifies me every time you comment. Y'all should just go ahead and make it official. Make it Facebook official. So anyways, I just have Tupac stuck in my head. I feel like I need more of these eye drops. My eyes just feel really red today. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah. So, anyways, Abram's been playing full-grown men in his basketball tournaments lately. And I can't take another devastating loss like he suffered at the last tournament. It's just not our year for organized sports. You know, let's just scrap it. Let's come back next year. Let's look at a soccer. I'm open to soccer. I'm open to a lot of things because I've just come to realize that even though your point guard doesn't have to be tall and Abram can handle a ball really well, that I must be the hormones in the chicken. I don't know how else to explain it. These people have full-grown beards. And so I was like, you know, let's use it to our advantage. Let's see what other sports he could play. He'd probably be good at baseball, but he's got a bad taste in his mouth about baseball. He says all the baseball boys think they have Riz. I don't even know what that means, but he doesn't love baseball. So I'm like, what about soccer? And he's like, I've been playing it at recess. I'm like, good, keep playing, keep playing. So is my 11-year-old. 47-year-old. They are, Shannon, it's wild. It is wild. Nobody is checking birth certificates. You know what? Screw birth certificates. We need to show passports. I'm not even sure these people are, I'm not even sure they don't have warrants out for them. Like, some of these people just look like, and they act like, I mean, it's just a bad deal. It's just a bad deal. Tall, beards. Claiming to be a player, but your wife. Hey, Wendy. So, I'm going to pull my hair up because I plan on curling it or something shortly. I am ugly today because I just didn't want to put real clothes on. So, all right, let's try to do something about this face. Wow, that is extra high and tight today. Wowza. All right. Hey, Julie. And it's so expensive to get into these tournaments. Golly. They're probably part of the... It's wild. It's wild. It's just been a tough year. And he watches so many of these teams on YouTube, and like he has received a video from a player named Eli Ellis who plays on OTE. I don't know. There's probably like, I'd be surprised if there was one of y'all who knew who I was talking about. But he loves Eli Ellis, and he loves all the OTE players, and he loves Taylor Kinney, 6'7", all the things. He's like obsessed. So I think he thought he was going to just get on this AAU team and it was just going to be like straight to the top, win every tournament like these boys do. And it's been Josh said it's humbling for him. Wendy, great job. No one will find them driving the buses posting, hey, Paula. All right, don't judge me, okay? Because my mother-in-law tried last night. I'm just kidding. She's like the least judgmental person ever, but she was trying to give away her Crystal Light, and I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, well, I just read it's not good for you. And I was like, Diet Coke uses the same sweetener. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's a good point. And I was like, so she had like a 12-pack of Diet Coke sitting there. I was like, just drink it. Anyways, this is citrus Crystal Light with caffeine. I was trying to get off the soda. I started drinking these, and then people had a problem with me drinking these. And if you have a problem with me drinking these, just mind your business. It's water somehow. It's got to be doing something positive for me. I haven't figured it out yet. I don't drink water. 0 stars. It has a taste. It has a smell. I don't care what anyone says. I think it's like that cilantro gene that people have, like where cilantro tastes like soap. I think some people drink water and it has a flavor. That's my theory. All right, let's do brows first today. I always get a lot of compliments when I do my brows first, and I really get in there and like go around them with concealer. Yeah, is it though, Wendy? I don't know. My sweet Tam drinks some too, and she messaged me the other day because last week on a video I said, well, I feel like these are not hydrating me at all because they have caffeine in them, which is a diuretic. And so Tam texts me and is like, what do you mean they're not hydrating? And I was like, I started making me second guess. I was like, I don't know. It's not hydrating, is it? Hi, Christine. Maybe you know. Am I getting any positive benefits from drinking Crystal Light with caffeine, or should I just go back to soda? Just let me know. I used to suck down Pepsis like it was my job on these live videos. One thing no one tells you is how thirsty you will get when you talk for an hour and a half straight. No one mentions how absolutely parched you can get. So I have to be drinking something, and it's not going to be water. So I really thought this was like the lesser. Hey, Miss Lisa. I really thought this was like the lesser of the evils. But then I have people all the time. They're like, oh, Crystal Light, I would never. And I'm like, anyone else eat bagged lettuce and think it smells like pregnancy? I'd answer that if I ate anything healthy at all. But if it's green, I don't eat it. If it's green, let it be. Leaves of 3, let it be. That's how I feel about healthy food. Celtic salt to help. And that would make it salty, and I don't like salty and savory. I don't like sweet and savory. I went to lunch with a friend last week, and I feel like she had a great palate for like healthy stuff. Like she was pointing out things on the menu, and she was talking about how good they sound. I was like, that does sound great. And it was like our first time having lunch together, so I didn't want to be like, that sounds awful, disgusting, I'll have the chicken fingers. So I was like, yeah, you're right. That does sound so good. And then she was like, well, what are you going to get? And I was like, I'm just going to go with the old BBQ sandwich. And she was like, yeah, it sounds good, but don't you want this? And I was like, no, no. It was like, I'm trying to think about it. It was like coconut shrimp or something. I was like, I don't eat coconut, but I didn't want to tell her. So I was like, nah, not today. And then she was like, oh, this salad sounds good. I was like, this salad does sound good. So I'll wait a few weeks before I tell her, like, our next lunch date will probably be at Chick-fil-A or McDonald's. It's fine. That place was a little, like, snazzy. The menu, it was weird. It was a weird mix of, like, it looked sort of like a fancy place, but then also our food could have been microwaved, you know? It could have gone either way. Their Crystal Light packets don't have caffeine. Well, maybe, Jennifer. It's not going to make it salty. It's going to add, most people in lives do drink a lot. That's why. That is why. Because that's why. I don't even remember why I'm saying that's why, but most people in lives do. Oh, that's why people drink a lot. It just makes you real parched, you know? Oh my God. I wish y'all could have seen me when I had to do that. When I had to speak at convention. I have a video and it will never leave my phone because it was the most embarrassing time of my life. But I just remember my mouth was like, it doubled as an ASMR because I also was like spitting sand. It was like, I've never been so thirsty in my life. And all they have was like a little cup of water. And I always think to myself, like, is this weird? I always think, like, if I'm on a deserted island, would I, like, I'll look at raw meat sometimes and I'll be like, if I was on a deserted island, would this look appetizing? Do y'all ask yourself stuff like that, or are you normal? And then I'll look at a glass of water and be like, if I was stranded in the desert, how many hours would it take for this to be something I'd consider drinking? Like, as a picky person, I always ask myself these questions. And then I was thinking the other day, this is way off topic, but I was thinking the other day, we were going to church, and I was like, Josh, do you know what I do that's really weird? And he was like, what's that? And I was like, when I'm driving down the road, I'm also jumping from power line to power line. Is that weird? Does anyone do anything like that? In my head, I'm jumping from power line to power line like a video game, like Subway Surfer. Like I jump on the power line as we drive under it, and then I jump to the next one. But if it's a far jump, then you have to jump halfway. You have to hit the halfway point, and then you have to jump to the next one. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't think I want to know. It's okay. But I do things like that. Or like the reflectors in the road, I jump from like line to line in my head. Now, sometimes it's a physical, like, and sometimes it's just like in my head, like clock it, jump, go. I don't know why I am the way I am, but aren't you guys glad I share every last little detail of my life and brain with y'all to make you just feel a little bit normal? I've personally tried all the Crystallite, and by far citrus is the best, hands down. I love the citrus. The pink lemonade does not have caffeine, but it'll make you real spicy on the inside. It'll make you like, like, is this a fire burning in my heart, or am I having a heart attack? Like, is there an inferno in my chest? Like you are physically moving your... Sometimes, like, especially if I'm by myself, I jump on the power line. Like, I'm not that's all I do. Just like a little, like, boop, land on the line, boop, next line, boop, like that. And it is so relaxing when there's no power lines crossing the roads. Then I can, like, kick back, take a break. But, like, most of the time there are power lines. And I'm like, Josh is like, well, this is why you can't drive. And I was like, this has nothing to do with it. He didn't think it was too weird, but he also was like, this is why you can't really drive. He was like, you're really busy. Hey, Kathy, good morning. All right, let's do the other eyebrow. He was like, you got a lot going on over there. And I was like, yeah. I don't know why I do that. I wish I could stop, though, because sometimes it is annoying. Yeah, I meant your head. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, boop. I mean, I would never do it with somebody else in the car, but if I'm by myself, I'm like, jump and jump. Like, boom, bop, bam. And so, yeah, I don't know why I shared that, why I felt led to share that with you guys. Somebody out there needs to hear it. I sound like a pasta. Somebody out there needs to hear that. You are not alone. OCD, can you brush that black dot off your shoulder of your shirt? Yes, a leaf. I thought you meant I had OCD with the jumping from thing to thing. I was like, no, I feel like that's the last thing I've got. I click or grind my teeth together to a certain beat or a song and can't stop until I get it perfect. I also count things a lot. I can imagine you listening to Mario. No. I do want to go. Have y'all seen the sneak peeks of the Epic Universal? I'm not a Universal person. You know me. Ugh, Universal. Gross. I'm strictly a Disney gal, but I do want to go to that Mario World. They're going to be opening in May. I can't bring myself to do it. So when I'm driving, I'm adding up numbers on the license plate. Thank you, Leslie. I feel bonded to you over our quirks. Thank you for coming forward and being a safe place. Thank you. Sometimes I do that too, or sometimes I look for patterns in the license plates. Like I'm like, 4 plus 3 is 7. 4, 3, 7. But you know me, I'm a big Disney girl, so it does feel like cheating, although they are a billion-dollar corporation and they literally could not care less about what I'm doing as long as I'm giving them my annual pass holder money every year. But it does feel a little bit like I'm cheating on them. My mom does that, adds up the numbers on the license plate. What is this? What does all of this mean, I wonder? Like jumping from like power line to power line. What does all of this mean? Oh, yes. Oh, really? Never even? I'm the opposite. I'm never odd. And I feel like if it is odd, I'm going to get in a wreck. I don't know. I don't know what this means. I'm sure I'm a psychologist's dream, though. They'd be like, oh, sister, how'd you get this far in life without being diagnosed? All right, so these are nice eyebrows. We did the eyebrows first today. I'm living on the edge. I'm feeling wild. Nothing can hold me down. Let's get a little bit of primer. My face feels really dry. I say what the letters can mean, like ours is W, Western, North, Eastern. Western, North, Eastern. All right, so I get a little pump there, but also when you told that story, I heard the Mario video yeah. Oh, thanks, Evelyn. It's the shade Ash Brown. There's about 400 colors, so I feel like knowing the color you need is the most important. It's the shade Ash Brown. It is a little ashier, and I like that. I prefer that over something that's really warm. And it's NYX Brow Liner, NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I subscribe to them, so they just show up at my house at this point. They know right when do you know what's so weird? I really feel that social media can read your brain, and they're just not telling us yet. Because this morning, I was driving on the road, I was thinking to myself, another spring has come and gone, and my children don't have passports yet. Like, dang it, I mean to do that every winter, and every winter I freaking forget. Because I'm the only person with a passport in my family. I don't want to brag, but if things start popping off, I can get out of here if someone will have us, you know? But like my family will have to stay. That's what I think about. And so then I started thinking my family doesn't have passports, and I start panicking a little. And then I was thinking to myself, boy, if we had passports, we could go to Atlantis, because there's a real cheap flight that goes to, oh no, that goes to St. Thomas, so that wouldn't be right. Anyways, every year I want to go to Atlantis in the spring, and every year we forget to get passports. And so this morning I was driving down the road, and I was like, oh, I want to go to Atlantis. I want to go swim with the dolphins, and like, I just want to go there. And then the ad popped up on my Facebook. So everybody buckle up, because you're going to have an Atlantis ad pop up on your Facebook today too, because I mentioned it. So you're welcome. But I want to go to Atlantis so bad. So every year I forget. So we used to go on cruises. I'd be like, we can't leave the country. It's okay. Carnival will let us out and back in. How much does passports cost? I think a lot. I don't remember exactly how much, but I think it was going to be like $1,000 to expedite, not like super expedited, but like the 6-week one, the like medium expedited. And then I think to myself, I should just go to that place in Atlanta, but I think the place in Atlanta can only see you if you have, like, I think you have to bring proof that you're booked and you are going somewhere ASAP. But I love Atlantis. We've been a few times on a cruise, and we pay that extreme, insane amount of money to go there for the day. And last time we went, it wasn't looking too good at the old Atlantis. They didn't have any water. Something was wrong. Something was wrong with Nassau. Last time we went. It was 2007. We were on a Disney cruise. I was so happy to be back at it. Or maybe that was 2018. 2018. I was so happy to be back in Nassau because I love it there. I feel like if my family had a passport, I'd go there. $1,000 for my 3 children, I think. Maybe not. Making it easier online. I haven't seen that yet, Mary Ray. But if you come across that, please send that to me. So anyways, we went to the Atlantis. And, Josh posted up with the elders, and he was just pulling that slot, baby, just pulling that slot all day long. And we were outside, and I was like, why is the lazy river empty? It was only like half full, and we had paid like $250 a person to spend the day there. And I was like, well, where's the water for the lazy river? And so I asked someone, and they were like, oh yeah, there's a water shortage here. So they can't fill the lazy river up all the way. Or maybe that was when I went with Unique on Royal Caribbean a few years ago. I don't remember, but either way, there was no water, and that was quite... I don't know if you've ever tried to go to a water park without water, but like some of the things were working, like some of the rides were accessible, and but most of them weren't. It was like 50-50, and they're like, oh, sorry, we don't have water. And I was just like, whoa. So that was our last time we went. I'd like to give it another shot. I did hear it's insanely expensive to actually like stay and eat and everything. Because you know when you're on a cruise, you're just worried about, well, at least I am. You can judge me all you want, but at least when you're on a cruise, you think to yourself like, oh, I don't have to worry about like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Only like lunch while we're gone, because when we get back to the boat, I'm going to hit up that buffet. I'm going to get a little scoop of mashed potatoes, put a little tiny piece of chicken on top, bacon from the salad bar on top of that, and get some croutons and ranch dressing. Like you start building your virtual buffet plate. And so I was like, well, it's not that big of a deal. We got a cheeseburger. It was like $25. I was like, oh, with like a bag of chips. I was like, all right. So, I think, you know, you have to be a different tax bracket to be able to actually like go there and not be on a cruise ship. You have to be a different income, because that blew me away. I saw it and I was like, shoo, geez Louise. And of course my kids are like sucking down like, you know, virgin pina coladas and anything but the free stuff. Anyways, that's the point of my whole story is I think social media, I don't know what's happening here. I just keep getting further and further out with this concealer. I think social media can read our minds. I think they just haven't told us yet, because it's going to startle a lot of people. It's going to cause an uproar. And so I think they're like, you know, let's keep this one under wraps and not tell anybody yet. Ooh, me too. I love the ice cream machine. So I think this morning I look at my phone and it says Atlantis. And I was like, okay, is this a sign or are they reading my mind? It could go either way. But okay, so a little interesting news out of California today. Or yeah, it happened sometime earlier this week. Okay, so do you guys know the band Weezer? My dad is going to be so disappointed if you don't, because he loves them. You know, they say, ooh, you, and I'm dressed like Buddy Holly. Oh, ain't no Mary Tyler Moore. You know what I'm talking about? From the 90s? Anyways, and the sweater song. All right, so if you don't, you can Google it later. The guy from Weezer, the bassist, I believe, he and his wife and children live in California. Okay. And here's what happened. There was some sort of suspect on the loose in their neighborhood, right? And his wife is recently had some surgery for cancer. I don't know what kind. I want to say breast cancer, but I don't know if it is breast cancer. I love Weezer too. Me too. All right. I just hit you with like their best song because I wanted people to know who they were. But if I'd known y'all were fans, I would have hit you with something more underground. So anyways, these people are on the loose. These people get in like an act. There's something that happens and there's a bad guy on the loose. Okay. And he's running through backyards in California in like a nicer neighborhood. Okay. And his wife finds out what's going on and is a little scared, like any of us would be. She's a little scared. So what does she do? She goes and gets her gun and she goes out in her backyard, and she's in her backyard and she's on the lookout for the guys because she's thinking to herself, well, I'm going to shoot these guys if they come in my, because she was home alone with her children and the babysitter. So she's out back. Y'all, the police roll up on her. She can't see it's the police because, and this is what a neighbor reported, the way the house is set up, she couldn't see it was the police, but the police could see her. And so someone is screaming at her to put the gun down. She thinks it's the criminal guy. So she doubles down and just stands there with it. And, or this is allegedly what the neighbors are saying played out. So she's standing there, y'all. The police shoot her in the shoulder. They don't know if she's the bad guy or not. She doesn't know if they're the bad guy. The police shoot her in the shoulder. She runs inside, puts the gun away, panics. The babysitter says, hey, the police are outside. She says, oh, thank God, I've been shot in the shoulder. She goes outside. They throw her on the ground, take her to the hospital with a gunshot wound. Now she's being charged with attempted murder. She's being charged with attempted murder. Her bond was $1 million. She's out, though. She's out. So Weezer is playing this weekend in Coachella. Okay. And so this guy is out walking his dogs. He's got 100,000 poodles on leashes. I thought it was a dog walking service. It wasn't. It was the bassist from Weezer. He's out walking his dogs and they're like, hey, how's your wife? And he says, I can't comment on it right now. I hope, just like my dad said, I hope he has called Morgan and Morgan, because they're the only ones that are going to help him out of a bind like this. Like, this sounds like it's time to lawyer up to me. So they say, how's your wife? He says, oh, she's good. She's good. He says, oh, no, he doesn't say she's good. He says, I can't comment, which led me to believe that they have lawyered up. No, that's a true story. I cannot lie about that. She's lawyered up, I guess, assuming by his thing, but she's fine. She's okay. He said, they said, so are you going to be canceling at Coachella this weekend? Because for those of you who are over the age of 25, there's a musical festival called Coachella. And a lot of young people love going to it. Well, apparently Weezer's going to be there. And they were like, so are you canceling this weekend? And he said, no, I'll be there. So it must not be too serious. But could you imagine you're home alone, chilling in your backyard? And do you know where they found the guy? This is the icing on the whole cake. They found the guy a few doors down, swimming in someone's pool in his boxers, trying to pass off that he was the resident that owned the home. That is the icing on the whole cake. That, to me, I would have been like, oh, okay, well, she had a good point, you know? Like, this guy probably did run through her backyard, and she probably was terrified. So let's just drop all the charges. Attempted murder. So some people are reporting now, like I think the Daily Mail did not say this, but TMZ did. And TMZ is usually right. I think it was TMZ, maybe not. Anyways, there's one outlet reporting that she did shoot at them. Her business to go be a commando. She just stayed inside. I'm sure, I don't know. She looks like she doesn't give a shit. Honestly, that's why. Because she looks like she doesn't give a shit. She looks like, I don't know, maybe they came by and knocked on the door. Maybe they threw, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but she went outside and she was trying to handle it. She looks like she doesn't give a. She looks like she's cosplaying like someone from the 50s, like Mary Tyler Moore, which is ironic. She does. He looks like Buddy Holly, so that's irony right there. But she went outside and she was going to blow their head off, and instead she ended up getting her shoulder blown off. So I don't know. I'll be interested to see how that lawsuit goes, though, because all signs sound like it's going to be a lawsuit. There had to have been something fired, right, for them to charge her with attempted murder. But I think at first they thought she was the suspect, and I think probably they had to just double down and just stick with it. You know what I mean? I think they thought she was the suspect, so they charged her. And then they were like, oh, wait, she's not the bad guy. Just let him stick, you know? So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. California just sounds like, golly, California sounds like the Wild West to me. And that's coming from somebody who likes to spend a lot of time in Florida. California just sounds like, I'm sure that one day, and Florida, I'm sure that California and Florida are both just going to break off and just sail away. And don't forget to write, you guys will just be, some of y'all over there. I just feel like it. And then I also feel like the same is going to happen to Florida. I feel like one day, just those two crazy places are just going to pop off and just float away. And then I started thinking, maybe she was on meds because she is going through cancer treatment. And so maybe she was on meds. Maybe, I don't know. She's recently had some sort of surgery for some type of cancer she has. I don't know. So then I was like, maybe she was on something, like that one lady, the dying for sex lady, she was hot in the pants because of her cancer meds. Maybe this one made her think she was Rambo. I don't know. We've also seen in my county, along with many others, cops lied to protect themselves and their buddies. If she was on her, they didn't. I don't know. If you own a gun, your chances of being shot go significantly higher. Wow, look at that. Had no idea. Maybe it's because you're just ready to go all the time. I don't know. No wonder. A lot of people are leaving there. So my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, they just moved to Tennessee, and they said there is like an influx of people, specifically influencers, that are moving to that area. And I told you my theory already, because California and Utah and a few other states passed that bill where you can't like monetize your children without there's certain things going on. So I'm somewhat convinced. Thanks, Wendy. That's Ophir Foundation in the shade Honey. You can go to Liz Doyle Beauty, and there's a color match program and everything right there. But I told you my theory. Like they started passing those laws, cracking down on the parents that were like YouTube superstarring their kids against their will. The LeBrant. That's a lot of people are speculating that. Yeah. Boy, they just keep having babies, huh? But they're making it harder. They want to form some sort of like, which I'm sure after seeing the Ruby Frankie thing, like I'm sure there needs to be tougher restrictions in place. I'm sure of that. There needs to be someone, like a guardian ad litem. Someone needs to be worried about the children. And I don't feel like they are. So now all these influencers that are moving, people are calling them out and canceling them. And the influencers are coming forward and they're like, no, that's not why we moved. We just wanted to. That's not why we moved. Pink Pony. Oh, you're welcome. It's the least I could do. It's the least I could do. So anyways, yeah, so that's that, the Weezer thing. And then what else happened? There was something else I was going to tell you guys about. I don't remember what the other thing was I was going to talk about. I had it in my head, and I was like, don't forget to mention this. And now I've forgotten all about it. Thought they were so cute when my girls are smaller. Yeah, family influencing is definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting. It's an interesting business. I think, with the whole internet thing as a whole, nobody really kind of knows how to govern any of it. Like social media, like harassment, anytime you have to do anything with any, like law enforcement or courts or anything. I've had friends who have had, like cyber stalking situations and stuff like that. And you go to the court and they're like, we don't know how to handle this. I mean, they're very honest with them. They're like, yeah, we we don't know how to handle this. This looks civil. And then the judge is like, nah, it looks criminal. And then they send you back and forth and it turns into a mess. So I think there will be, I think in about 25 years, there will be like final, I think it'll take a long while to set up real like ways to figure out how to do it, you know? Oh my gosh, Michelle, that was so awful. A tragic story. Good morning, Miss Robin. Hi. I can't believe you're here. Hello. They're the only ones I feel comfortable with. I don't know who A for Ashley is. It's pretty, Lori, I can't even talk about her and her grocery store feet. All right, so yesterday there's very tragic news out of New York. Very tragic news. A helicopter fell from the sky. A sightseeing helicopter with a family aboard fell out of the sky. And of course, there's video of it everywhere. Everywhere you turn on the internet. Josh said yesterday, did you hear about the helicopter? And I said, yeah. Did you see it? And he said, no, and I don't want to. So he does not want to see stuff like that. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it when things start hitting the internet, and he doesn't like seeing it. He's like, nah. Meanwhile, I'm like, whoa. Dissecting, slow motion, like all the things. Josh is like, nah, I don't think I want to see it. Hi, Natalie. Hello. How are you? So a family was in New York visiting from Spain. I love you. I miss you. I hope you're doing well. I was talking to Miss Charlotte the other day about you, and it sounds like you're doing great. So, this family was in town from Spain, and they got in a sightseeing helicopter. And basically, in just normal people terms, I'll just tell you, it looked like the thing just fell apart. The top fell off, like the top spinning thing, the blade, that fell off, and then the back one fell off. It literally looks like it was put together with Legos, and it just boop, popped off. And then it proceeded to flip head over feet, like this way, not like tumble down, like, you know what I mean? And so tragically, a family of 5 did not recover, they didn't make it. And they were from Spain, and there's video all over the place of it. So it's awful. It literally just fell apart. Like, if you haven't seen the video yet, that's you don't even need to see it. I just explained it to you like verbatim. It literally looks like it looked like the top blade fell off, and then the back blade fell off, and then it just went into a downward spiral. And I cannot imagine. It makes me super sad, and I start thinking about Kobe Bryant all over again. Oh, it makes me really sad. And so it's a family of 5 from Spain and the pilot, and they landed in the Hudson River but did not make it. Really sad. Very sad. So that was awful and tragic. I know. I can't imagine, being a mom and attempting to comfort or, just be a mom in a situation, which I'm sure the dad was helpful too, maybe, but just be a mom, and that things are probably not going to end well, but you're trying to comfort them in the time of like a crisis. I just can't imagine. And like, make sure you get your hands on everyone it's just so sad. It's so freaking sad. One time, Annalie brought home Flat Stanley. She brought home Flat Stanley, and I was like, well, what does Flat Stanley want to do? Because we're not going, you're supposed to take like Flat Stanley somewhere cool. And I was like, what do we have to offer Flat Stanley, I just want to lay in the bed and be left alone. And she was like 5, so I knew that if she had too much time with Flat Stanley, she was going to like rip his leg off or something, then I'd be responsible for ruining this kid's project. So Flat Stanley came to our house, and isn't it weird, the Simpsons theory? That blows my mind every time. So Flat Stanley's at my house, and I said, you know what? Would Flat Stanley like to go on a helicopter ride? Because we have this helicopter ride nearby. It's $25. They literally lift you up in there, and then they put you back down. They do like a little circle, a little tiny little circle. And then they put you right back down on the ground, and that's it. $25, thank you. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And I was like, you know, I'll pay $50 for a Flat Stanley to have a great time, because I've also always wanted to go on a helicopter. This was, you know, a while ago. And so I was like, come on, let's take Flat Stanley on a chopper tour. And I was thinking to myself, boy, I'm killing like 7 birds with one stone. We are giving Flat Stanley the time of his life. Think about every kid that receives Flat Stanley after this and has to read that Flat Stanley has already been in a chopper. Sorry, losers, you know? And then, like, I've always wanted to go in a helicopter. It's a great experience for my child. We'll learn a little bit about geography. Like, it'd be a great education. We are literally checking off every single box. I'm like, check, check, check. Who can beat us, you know? Who can beat Flat Stanley went in a helicopter? What are you going to do, take Flat Stanley to Hawaii? I got on $50. Now you got to spend $10K to try to one-up me, you know? Because how do you one-up a helicopter? So anyways, I had this grand plans. And I was like, we're going to put Flat Stanley. And we're going to take his picture up there. And then I started hearing like people throw up a lot in helicopters. Like this one guy puked in his wife's purse. Jimmy Kimmel went on a helicopter ride with his wife, and he puked in her brand new purse. Like, I've just heard a lot of things about people throwing up in helicopters. So anyways, I call my dad, who's like a good time. One thing you got to understand about my dad, he is fun. He is so fun that he named him and my children the Fun Club. Like, that's how fun. Yeah, stupid Flat Stanley. Nanas? Huh, loser. So, well, you did what you could, Lori. It's not your fault. But did it go in a helicopter? Anyways, so Flat Stanley arrives, and I'm like, here's the day. So I call my dad, the CEO of the Fun Club. I call him, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And he's always up for like spontaneous, wild, good times, right? So I'm like, I can't think of anyone better to tell. I call Josh. He's like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to go, but I guess y'all go ahead, right? He never wants to bring down my dreams. So he's always like, yeah, I guess do whatever. So I call my dad, and I'm like, Dad, you're never going to guess what I'm going to do. And he was like, what? And I was like, we are going to take Flat Stanley. And then I tell him all about who Flat Stanley was. And I tell him the whole story I just told y'all about how can you outdo Flat Stanley went in a helicopter. And so we're talking, I'm building it up. And I'm like, here's what Flat Stanley did. He went in a helicopter. And I'm like, Dad, can you imagine? My dad was like, excuse me. And I was like, what? He was like, you are not taking my baby in a helicopter. And I was like, why not? Doesn't it sound fun? He's like, no, that sounds like the most dangerous thing you could do. How dare you putting my grandchild in danger? And I was like, that was not the response I expected at all. And he was like, do you know what the crash rating is on these things? And he's like, Josh even knows somebody who flew. And then my dad proceeds to tell me this story about one time he used to be like a consultant for auto dealerships. And this one car dealership was running this promo where if you bought a car, you got a helicopter ride or something. I don't know. It was something crazy. So my dad said the guy took him up in the helicopter, right? Did a little circle. Here's the town. Isn't it great? Good luck. Go sell 1 million cars. Okay. Then the guy crashes. And then I start thinking to myself, then the logic kicks in. And I'm like, all right, he's giving me he's giving me numbers, like the percentage of helicopters that go down. He's giving me all the facts I need to make a sound decision. I can't take my kid in a helicopter. What the freak was I thinking? Flat Stanley did not get to go in a helicopter, Miss Robin. Flat Stanley, Annalie was pumped. She was 5. Flat Stanley did not get to go in a helicopter. Not even a little bit. Flat Stanley went to the bookstore or something. So you're welcome to all the people that got Flat Stanley after us. We played it low key. And my dad was like, I'm talking like, my dad's like the world's funnest guy ever. Thinks he's like 30 years old, goes to concerts, like does all the things, but draws the line at helicopters. I got another helicopter story. So there was a traffic reporter in LA that was Bruce Jenner, now Caitlyn Jenner's best friend. I don't want to hype it up because it's not nearly as good as my Flat Stanley story, but it'll do. If I'm doing something stupid, I can't think about it. Yeah, same. Then you start thinking, oh, am I marching us right into slaughter? You know, then you start thinking it's like, I can't do this. I'm a mom. Like, my dad's like, you have 2 other children to think about. And I was like, but it's $25. So anyways, so when Bruce Jenner had a helicopter, when Bruce Jenner was still Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner was Bruce Jenner, and lived in LA, he had a helicopter. He's always been very like vocal about how much he loves like toys, like recreational vehicles, stuff like that, when it was Bruce Jenner. And so he had a helicopter, and so he had a posse of helicopter friends. And one of them, let's just say his name was Steve, because I don't remember. It was literally like the most like lame boy name ever. It was like, let's say Steve, okay? So Steve and Bruce Jenner were best friends, okay? Well, Bruce Jenner transitions to Caitlyn, okay? So then Steve transitions to Zoe, which I would like there to be I fully support everyone. Do whatever you want. What do I care? I would like there to be a case study specifically on how men choose their names when they transition, because they pick the most foolish names I've ever heard sometimes. Like, okay, so this man, Zoe, which not that it's a foolish name, it's just very random. It's a very like off the wall. So they used to call him Chopper Steve, or let's just say his name was Chopper Charlie because it sounds good, okay? So Chopper Charlie is doing the traffic reports, okay? Then Chopper Charlie transitions into Chopper Zoe. Not the same ring at all, but they interviewed Chopper Zoe one time on Inside Edition. I saw her, and it was afterwards, and so I saw her. Chopper Zoe was on TV, and it just stuck. Abram was like 10 months old, 11 months old. So then that summer we go to the water park, and the helicopter place is right behind it. So every time a helicopter comes up, I would point at the helicopter and say, it's Chopper Zoe. It's Chopper Zoe. And so for years, my children would point at helicopters and say, Chopper Zoe, Chopper Zoe. And I think they still do sometimes. So that's my Chopper Zoe story. It makes no sense. That's it. There's nothing more to it. I thought it was crazy. Bruce Jenner had a helicopter, went to Caitlyn. Zoe had a helicopter, went to Zoe. I thought it was wild. I thought it was a wild coincidence they did it together. Not together, but like around the same time. And they were like the best buds. So that's my story. It really doesn't mean anything. It has nothing to do with anything we were talking about except for helicopters. But for years, my children at the water park would, Chopper Zoe, and we'd wave. And Abram thought a helicopter was called a Chopper Zoe. So that's it. That's all I got. He was like, learn how to talk. It was so cute. It was precious. So anyways, I don't really know what we have to talk about other than that. I feel like we have covered more than enough bases. I feel like you know what? We could use a helicopter traffic person here, because our traffic has been a freaking nightmare. I don't know if, I mean this in the nicest way possible. I don't know if people are having babies quicker than other people are going on to glory. I don't know what's happened, and I don't know if everybody's just moving here. I don't know what's happening, but it seems like, oh, like the clown from Saw. It seems like people are really, it seems, oh, I do have a story for y'all. It seems like the people are, like there's more people here than ever. I've never seen traffic like this. This morning there were 2 wrecks on the way to school. This week has been Abram was like 30 minutes late for his, isn't that where you're from, Miss Robin, California? Cali girl. Abram was like 30 minutes late for standardized testing because of traffic, because of a wreck. And then yesterday this woman, she ran out in front of a semi. So that was awful. There's just been so many awful traffic things going on. I feel that we could use our own traffic helicopter because no one on the radio reports it. No one on the radio is reporting these crashes. And so my kids are late to school every day. I guess I could just open the Waze app and like do it myself, but whatever. Anyways, I haven't watched the whole Pit episode yet, so I can't talk about it, but I am going to talk just a teeny tiny little bit about, oh, Miss Robin, listen, I saw the school, I saw the school is expanding and getting a football team, and that is so great. That school is like booming. It's crazy to me. This is probably something I could have saved for like a personal phone call or something, but it just came to me. That is awesome. I saw it last night on their Facebook page that their program is expanding here to a truck. Oh no, it's awful. Traffic is awful right now. So anyways, then there was, okay, White Lotus. So I'm not going to spoil it because I still don't think I've given you enough time to hurry up and finish your episodes, Christine. So, White Lotus. Okay. Are you watching good? No. Was it dodgy Myrtle Beach? I don't know. I don't think so, Susan. Are you from the UK? Are you from the UK? Yes or no? I'm going to say yes, you are. I don't know, and I might have already asked you this before. I don't know how Myrtle Beach, I think that part was like added in for dramatic effect. I don't think, I've heard Good American Family. Here's my problem. I binge things in real time. So like as they're playing out, like the Murdoch trial, the Johnny Depp trial, like I obsess over things. I literally stay up at night and like read Reddit pages about whatever's going on. I get information that may not even be true because I am all over the internet scouring for things. I'm just taking people's information at face value. I knew you were from the UK because you put an X at the end of your comment. Kiss, kiss. I love that, and I want to start doing that. So anyways, that is very UK of you to do that. I like it. I like it a lot. So anyways, what was I saying? What was I saying? I feel like today's live video is all over the place, and this is what happens when I have nothing planned out to talk about. Oh, so I binge things in real time, so I feel like I learned about the Natalia Grace thing like as it was happening. So now I'm like, not that it's beneath me, but I feel like it's old news. I can't watch something twice. I can't hear about something twice. It really has to be like a true like labor of love for me to dive into something twice. I just can't do it. So I have not watched that, but everyone that has watched that is like blown away. I do think Meredith Grey is beautiful and gorgeous and is a patron saint on Grey's Anatomy. So I would hate to look at her differently, you know, because I think I think the dad is wild. I'm just kind of over that whole situation. Like, is she a grown-up or not? At this point, I don't even care. Like, she is an actual grown-up. If she wasn't before, guess what? It's been so long, she is now. So let's just drop it, you know? Oh. I love it when text messages come through. So anyways, where was I going with? I was going somewhere with this. No, I haven't watched this. Sorry, I'm so distracted. The messages that are coming through right now. Anyways, I don't remember what I was going to say, but I'm going to watch a new episode of The Pit. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. Okay, so you know, I've talked about this many times. I love Walter Goggins. Like, it's crossed over into a new, like, I don't know, a very weird, I love my husband. I think he's amazing. He is the person for me, but also Walton Goggins is something about him. He's hot. I don't know. I think it was seeing him as Rick in The White Lotus. He looked very nice. I know he has a bald spot in the back of his head. I don't care. Usually that wouldn't be my thing, but I think he's hot. He's much older, but he's cute. It's a strange crush for me. It's a strange crush. So anyways, I like him in real life. I love him I love him as Baby Billy. I'm obsessed with the gemstones. You know all of that. Okay, so his co-star in The White Lotus is an actress named Amy Lou something. So Rick and Chelsea are their names in The White Lotus. And Rick and Chelsea are like, they turn into like, by the end, they are the love story that you are hoping and praying that they will be. Like, all along, there's a struggle between like good and evil, and there's a lot of like, and then she's giving him more attention than he's giving her, and all along you're just hoping that everything is going to balance out and it's all going to be all good. And she's so cute with her teeth. I love her teeth. I love them. I would never want them, but they're the cutest teeth. She's got these two front teeth that are absolutely precious. And so all through the series, you're watching this couple and you're like, oh, something about him. I just want him to work out. He's not the nicest to her all the time, but like, you're thinking like, you know, he's got it in there, and he's struggling with this conflict, and you know that once he gets it off his chest, he's going to be like the greatest for her. And she's very like faithful and speaks so highly about him and says that she is the hope and he is the anger, and she hopes to like wash out the anger. Like, all these things she's saying about him. She loves him so good in this show. And so the whole time you're like really pulling for him, okay? And they have like a chemistry on screen, not anything like hypersexual. It was just they zhuzhed well together. They did really well together. Even though she was like younger and he's older, it was a good pair up for those two, I feel. It was going to be Woody Allen. He's still around. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm not. He reminds me of Matthew McConaughey, and I could see him naked playing bongos somewhere. I'm just not a fan. I'm so glad he turned down that part because he said he had a family vacation. So crazy. So anyways, Walton Goggins, once the show is over, he does this whole post to Amy Lou Wood on his Instagram. Now, there are like social media obligations as an actor on a series. You can tell, right? You can tell. They're not just posting all these press photos because they want to. Like, if there's a new show coming out, or if they're telling you like, watch the Kardashians tonight at 9, there is a contractual obligation in most cases to do that, okay? So he posts this long like thing to her set to the tune of something. It wasn't Wicked Games. It was something, okay? So he posts all these photos of her, and then he posts pictures of the cast as well, but he literally does like 14 slides of her and him and their relationship, and like everyone's eating it up. They're like, oh, Woody Harrelson, that's him. That is him. Not Woody Allen. Woody Harrelson. I'm sorry, he's Cheers. The one from Cheers. The one from Cheers. He's bald. That one. Now he's bald, but the one from Cheers. That's the one I meant. Not Woody Allen. Sorry. I don't even know who Woody Allen is. Do I? Anyway, so he posts this long thing, right? And he's got a wife. And they have a beautiful home that's been an Architectural Digest, and like it's an old barn or something. It's freaking beautiful. You would love to live in it. It's amazing. So he posts this long thing to his co-star, right? The internet detectives realize I'm really not Miss Robin. I'm really not. I should be teaching makeup stuff, but at this point it's just turned into like a podcast. So anyways, they noticed that they have unfollowed each other. And them are fighting words in social media today. Like, I have friends that have unfollowed other friends and they are dead to them. This is like fighting. This is like, them are fighting words. I don't know who Woody Allen is, do I? Oh, wait, is he the one with the daughter wife? I hope that's not the one. Oh, the one with the daughter wife? No, not that. I think that's the one. Is that the one with the daughter wife? Anyway, so he posts this diatribe to Amy Lou Wood. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was the wife, I would be upset. I would be upset if I saw it. I'd be like, okay, this is clearly way past your social media obligation, because you're not posting other cast members as much. You're not. Oh God, the dog. Yeah, not Woody Allen. I'm so sorry. What the other Woody Harrelson? Not Woody Allen. Woody Harrelson was gonna play Rick. Not Woody Allen. He's got one foot in the grave, one foot on banana peel. I don't even think he'd make the trip to Thailand because he wouldn't make it back. Oh my gosh. So, okay, sorry, wrong one. So the one with the daughter wife, not that one, the other one. Anyways, Woody Harrelson turned it down. What a kick in the pants, huh? He turned it down because he was going to be away on a family trip. And so they ended up going with Walton Goggins instead. So anyways, he posts all these pictures of Amy Lou Wood, and he posts like this caption, and he's got like all these story slides of her, and it's set to music. I don't remember exactly what song it was, but it's set to music, and it's so like, oh, Rick and Chelsea forever. But then you kind of forget, like, wait, this guy has a wife in real life. And you let Josh come home and start posting his co-workers, employees, and tagging them and putting them to Wicked Games by Chris Isaac, or like whatever song it was. Like, I would gut him like a fish. I would. And I'm not violent, but also don't make me mad, you know? So he posts. So then everyone notices they unfollow each other. She is no longer following him. She's just following his sunglass company, which is Walter Goggins Goggle Glasses or something crazy. He sells sunglasses. So she's still following the sunglass page, but not him anymore. I know. Crazy, right? Them are fighting words. Then people notice that not only has she unfollowed him, but we think he has blocked her, because all of her comments, boom, gone from his page. Things he had previously commented on, gone from his page. There's no trace she was ever around, which means he either A, went through and took the time to delete every single one of her comments, or B, he blocked her, which removes any trace of her from his social media. And so now people are like, wait, was something going on? And then the guy that played Tim Ratliff, he goes on a podcast the other day, and he says, hey, guess what? There were some fights on set. Some cast members didn't get along. It was nothing too hot and heavy, but like there were a few cast members that, 6 months filming together, eventually you get to a point where you're comfortable and you start, you have some disputes. And Walton Goggins has done all these interviews about how he was gone away from his family for so long. He was gone from his wife. And when he got back to America, he literally had one day before he had to get back on a plane and go film The Righteous Gemstones in Charleston. So he saw his wife for like 1 minute before he headed out and went to Charleston. And so the internet is just on fire about this theory that they could have been like a real life Rick and Chelsea. Like their chemistry could have been that good. Remember Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga? And everybody was like, screw his wife. We don't care about the wife. Screw her. Get rid of her. And everybody's like, those two have to be together. I haven't liked Lady Gaga way before the meat dress, like a long time. My beef with her goes way back. I'm just not a fan, but like I know her people are intense, so please forgive me. They're crazier than Swifties. She's just not my, it's not my thing. But anyways, when her and Bradley Cooper did the thing together, people were like, they have to end up together. No one was worried about his wife. So people are like, wait, is this like 2.0 version? Like, did something happen? So now I fear by not addressing it, they've done nothing but fan the flames. You know, like now it's too late. Now it's too late to say anything. You gotta just go with it, you know? So that was sad. That was sad. Some sad drama that happened from the White Lotus thing. First, do you know exactly what happened with his first wife in Thailand and taking her on light? No, but I know that he had this pilgrimage to Thailand, much like Rick did when he was younger. And he had this, you know, where he was trying to find himself, and he went to Thailand, and much like Rick, he said a lot of it was about his brother and stuff. I didn't know anything, or his dad, I'm sorry. It was related to his brother. So now people are like, did Walton Goggins cheat on his wife with, and she's like young, wild, and free. She doesn't care, you know? I don't think she's a bad person, but I also think she's young, you know? Big deal, because yes. Oh, okay. See, I thought it was the 20th anniversary from his dad. I didn't realize it was his wife. I didn't hear that. He said he looked up and he saw the same hotel, the seedy little hotel that he stayed in the first time he went to Thailand, when he was like trying to find himself and he was on this journey. That's all I heard in an interview. But I think that will be what, I really like this eyeshadow today. I don't know what I've done differently, but I like it. I don't know. I think it's going to look really pretty. But yeah, I saw the interview you're talking about where he said he looks up and he realizes it's like it's the end of the first day, and he looks up and he sees the exact hotel he stayed in 20 years earlier. And I thought he said since the anniversary of his wife or of his dad passing, or he was on a journey to figure out something with his dad. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. I took it as dad, but maybe he just meant like a loved one in general. I don't know, but that's interesting, isn't it? So anyways, that's some crazy stuff that's happening that has the internet just on high alert. Oh, thanks, Miss Robin. So that is crazy. And so they think there was some sort of little love affair. And then he goes on to do another interview for Righteous Gemstones. And he says, hey, when I got to the set, I'm dressed ridiculous and I'm in full Baby Billy mode. I could not remember my lines to save my life. And people in the comments were like, something had to have gone off. Like something had to have gone down. If he was so frazzled, it took him like 4 or 5 times to get his lines right, which was very unlike him. He said even Danny McBride was like, are you going to be okay? But I will say, plug your ears real quick if you haven't watched the White Lotus. This is your warning. If you haven't watched the White Lotus thing yet, give me a couple minutes to talk about it. What was that? What was that? I've given more than enough time for y'all to get out of here if you don't want me to spoil it. I was so disappointed with the ending. First, they kill off Jennifer Coolidge's character in the last season. And now they kill Rick and Chelsea, which there was like a poetic ending to it where, you know, they're together forever type of thing. And, you know, they're in eternity together forever and the timing and all that stuff. But like, seriously, what was that? What was that? And then I don't know if y'all know this, but I don't even know if anybody's interested in talking about this or not, but I've held it in all week. So Rick and Chelsea are gone. And then what was the storyline with the lady? Okay. What was the storyline with Lisa? So Mook, the lady who worked at the hotel, she is a famous pop star. Like, she is bigger than Taylor Swift in Asia. Her name is Lisa, and she is a big deal, like to the point where they had to bring in extra security, and they were worried that her being such a huge star was going to ruin it for you know, it was going to make it very difficult to shoot the White Lotus because that's how big of a star she was. And so they really questioned whether she was right for the role or not. And then they literally didn't even give her anything. Like, she literally had the tiniest plot in the world. It was so dumb. She was just like some superficial, like, girlfriend. It was so stupid. It could have been more. That part ticked me off. So I'm spoiling the White Lotus right now. If you haven't watched it yet, you don't want to be here. But I was so sad at the end. And then the family, and then that was a roller coaster. Lachlan, and he drank the smoothie, and then he says he saw God, and then he comes back to life after I had already cried. Something about it was really dark and funny though, when he's like going around asking his family, like, could you live without money? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh God, say yes, or you're a goner. And then finally Lachlan was like, yeah, I'd be fine without any money. I was like, oh, thank God, because I really liked that little nugget. It was just so crazy. It was very sad for a minute, and then it was happy. And then I just thought to myself, wait a second. These people have just witnessed a mass shooting at their resort. Oh, wait. No, don't come back yet. Christine, don't come back yet. Sorry, I was counting. I didn't mean to give you the thumbs up. Sorry, I was counting. Hold on a second. Give me another minute. So, they are all like, they just witnessed this mass shooting, right? And then as the credits are rolling, they're all like giggling, like ha 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 ha, on their boats back to the mainland. Like, everybody, no one is traumatized. Lachlan's not dry heaving because he ate a poisonous fruit and died and then came back. Like, literally no one is fazed by it. It's just like, oh, we're going back here, we're going back home. Like, as if this wasn't the most eventful day of their life. It was that part was really weird. Like, if he ate a poisonous fruit, he would have to, bare minimum, be admitted to a hospital, I would think, or have some sort of antidote, or like charcoal pumped his stomach, something. But they're all just like, ha 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 ha, and then Belinda gets the money. I was really happy for her. But a lot of it, I was like, they could have done differently. And there's so many people mad on the internet. And then other people, you know, like there's some hipsters who get it, and they're commenting, and they're like, if you didn't get it, then you missed the whole point of the show. It's about classism and capitalism and ageism. And they're like listing all these words, and I'm like, I don't think it's that deep either. It's really, I was disappointed. I would have liked to see a lot of things end up differently. And then the friend that was like, oh, time is my thing. And to be here with you guys, I'd be like, no, you know what? I'm never coming on vacation with y'all again. 3 girls on a girls trip is never a good idea. And I'm never coming back. Instead, they're like, aha, they're like laughing. I was like, kind of wanted the Russians to show back up and handle them. So I don't know. It was weird. It didn't make me happy. I didn't think it should have ended like that. I don't get it. I don't care if that goes with the theme of the show or not. But I thought that, I was just kind of like, this could have gone different. Yeah, he didn't need an IV of fluids at least. He got no medical attention. So anyways, I don't know. And he didn't wash the blender out. It was all like, it just felt like he stretched it out, and then the last episode, he was like, oh, we got to hurry up. We got to hurry up and end it. And he actually came forward and said there were a lot of things that he cut out, a lot of plot lines that he cut out. But still, the ones that he cut out did not fill in the holes that were left in the plot line. Like, for instance, the Ratliff lorazepam mom. How did she know the other lady from the baby shower, and why did she pretend not to know her? That was weird. That was never answered. There were a lot of things that were just kind of like, wait, what? And so I don't know. I love Belinda's character, though. I loved her. Everybody was pissed off that she took blood money, but I personally didn't care. I wanted her to get the money. I feel like Jennifer Coolidge's character would have wanted her to have the money. So I didn't think that was a big deal, but it was weird. It was a weird way to end up the White Lotus season finale. It was very strange. All right, you can come back now, Christy. Yeah, you can come back now. So that was my thoughts on that. I'm sure I could do a whole deep dive another time. Orange. I'm gonna delete that since Christine's back now. Yeah, it was disappointing. And we got to stop talking about it. That's all I can say. So this weekend, we've got a big weekend. Abram is having we have a basketball tournament, which I'm sure will be flooded with children who claim to be 11 and are truly already on Social Security because they're so old. Savvy! That message came in. I was like, oh. Oh. Debbie, this is an older shirt. Isn't it so cute? I bought this for Annalie last fall. It was from Aerie. It's no longer available unless you can find it on the site on clearance or on like a resale site. It's an Aerie. It's the Aerie bow sweatshirt. I know you haven't been here in a long time, Savvy. But, yeah, so Abram has a tournament this weekend. That's what we'll be doing. We'll be doing tournaments here. And then also, let me think, what else is going on? It's going to be a little chilly. Wow, last night there was a thunderstorm here, like a summer, like full-blown thunder boomer. Like it looked like spotlights outside my window. It was shaking the house. It was like one of the worst thunderstorms ever. There was no pause between the lightning and the thunder, so you can count how far away it is. Like, it was here. This was ground zero last night for the thunderstorm. And Abram came in our room. God love him. I love all of my children the same. I do feel the need to say that before I go into this, but I do. I love all of my children the same. They each have really great qualities that I absolutely adore. I would give my life for my children. I love them. That little Abram. Y'all, when he gets scared, he's like a little cat. He shakes. He has like a physical reaction to being scared. Like he literally starts shaking. It's, oh my God, it's the saddest thing. Pitt season 2 will be set 10 months after season 1 during a 4th of July weekend. I just got an update on that, so just a little FYI on that. But he came in my room shaking like a leaf on a tree. Poor little guy. He had like an actual reaction to being scared. He was like, Mom, it's so bad outside. I heard it woke me up. And I was like, oh, buddy, I'm sorry. So the whole family was up. The girls, I think, slept right through it, but me and Josh and Abram were like laughing and talking at like 4 o'clock in the morning. But this thunderstorm was crazy. It sounded like it was right outside my window. It sounded like a tree fell on the house multiple times. It was wild. And so I guess it was a cold front moving in because now it's going to be chilly. Or I guess a cold front was here. I don't know how that works, but I gotta go. I got an appointment. I wish I knew where my pencil sharpener was because this is my favorite lip liner and it's down to the scratchy wood. It's cold here too, Central North Carolina. I hate it. Like, it's late in the year, Jolie. It should be warmer than this outside. I was looking back at photos from previous years. it was warmer on the same days. I know you can't really like go by that, but I'm hoping this is like our last little burst of spring, or last little burst of winter, and then it will be spring. That is not bad. We had a little fake spring there. Pollen came out and then it went away, and then it came back, then it went away. You know you're getting older when you worry about the weather and you find yourself checking it. I used to make fun of my sweet mother-in-law for always wondering what the weather was, and now I find myself checking the weather. Like this morning, Abram said, "Can I wear shorts?" And I was like, "Buddy, I don't know." And we checked the weather, and I was like, oh. Every time I check the weather, oh, cool. Every time I check the weather, I just feel like I'm aging a little more and more each time. Okay, I think I'm going to put on some leggings and some flip-flops, and I'm going to go get my nails painted. And then I've got to get on the... I've been to Annalise school every day this week. I'm so tired of it. I've already been today. She got dress code. She got dress coded in public school. I know the ones of you who have been here for a long time are not surprised. You're probably rolling your eyes into the back of your head, and you're completely understanding where the previous school was at with the frustration and my frustration. I get it. But you just can't, you can't, you know, she wore this shirt today. It's cute. It's a Free People shirt. And all the girls wear it. But apparently now there's a target on you if you wear this shirt. It's a shirt. It's like a Free People t-shirt. It's like a cap sleeve. It's not cropped, but it hits right at the belt line. I know you've seen it. And then the back crosses over. So it's not an open back, but it's sort of an open back. And they'll wear like tank tops underneath it, or like bralettes and stuff like that. But you honestly don't see much. It's just like... because the fabric is crossed like this. Yes, Christine. Well, apparently this shirt is now on the radar, because the minute she walked into the school, she got pulled to the side and said, "You can't have that shirt on." Annalise said, "You just wait till everybody else wears theirs. Everybody's going down with me." And I was like, "Atta girl." So I already went to the school. I took her a hoodie to put over it, and she was fine. But I was like, "You're going to be tardy." And she was like, "I can't go back to school, and I can't go back to class until you get here." And I was like, oh. But apparently it's a very popular shirt amongst the girls. And if you have a girl, you know, there's like a Free People version. I believe there is a Lulu version. There's many different knockoffs of this shirt where they cross in the back, and in the front it's a cap sleeve t-shirt, and it's sort of like a little wider, and then the back it crosses like that. I said, I freaking knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew you couldn't wear that freaking shirt. She's like, "Whatever, Mom. Wait until I see other people in it." And I was like, yeah, I mean, I support that. Ruin everybody's day, you know? As I'm driving to the school, like cussing under my breath. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you should do that, actually. If you see someone else in that shirt, you should take a picture. And then email me a copy, and I'll complain as well. It is. It's a super cute shirt, and it's not revealing. It's just, I think they had an issue one too many times with them pushing the envelope with it. It's a cute shirt, but can't wear it to school. I mean, you know me. I'm not going to I feel like I'm, with my girls, I feel like I'm rather modest. Like, we don't do the 2-inch Lululemon shorts. I make them do the 4-inch Lululemon shorts. that they then roll into 2-inch Lululemon shorts. So I do have boundaries. Like, I won't let them do like a full crop unless it's like a cute set that is also sort of like more modest. I don't know. I'm just kind of like a granny. I feel like because we live here at the beach, people just run around butt naked. Sometimes you see people and you're like, oh, okay, all right. I'm just going to keep on keeping on with this on my modesty march, my march to modesty. But like for a long time, I couldn't get on board with even like Lulu shorts. I was like, no, those are ugly. Those are ugly. They're not ugly, but like, I was like, why? I mean, they're so expensive, and they're so expensive. Then Annalie discovered Ava cut the lining out of her Lulu shorts the other day and raged out. Rage against the machine. I mean, she went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I haven't seen her that mad in a long time. But that is something about Ava, though. Ava will just take it upon herself to just take your stuff and do whatever she wants with it. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.